right, what is up, Diva Loves? This is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva, and I am back, and I do mean back, because, honey, this week, the Diva has been a diva down. I don't know where the hell I picked up, whatever the hell is I picked up, but I was sick for a couple of days this week. So that's why I did not get around to filming these videos. So we're going to be doing a major catch-up today. I'm going to try to get as many of these out as I can, but you know, whatever, however long my energy lasts, because I think I did too much. I just ran out to the grocery store and all of that, and now I'm kind of, oh, it's so hot. So I still have a little fever. So I had like a cold, not the flu, but some sort of cold, some sort of little bug I picked up along the way. But that's neither here nor there. If this is your first time here at this channel, please subscribe to this channel. If you like what you hear, if you don't, then you can just scroll on by and no need to post hate messages. Some of y'all do that and you get blocked, so whatever. But we are here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac, hot gossip, cold pizza. We have one more episode before the season finale. I'm like, why couldn't this have been the season finale? But okay, whatever. The episode opens with Robyn and her investment properties. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and cover Robyn's storyline real quick right here. So as you know, from the beginning of the season, Robyn, we found out, was guilty of being the one to basically allow a jelly bean salesman to get her for her paper, who was supposed to be a friend. She feels guilty. So what she has done is partnered with her mother and her. They have started buying investment properties and paying like basically cash for them, having them rehabbed and then flipping them for sale. That's the goal. And it can be very profitable, but you don't want to buy a house that's so far gone where essentially you have to build it, knock it down and build it from the ground up. So that's what she's doing. She invites Gizelle and Ashley to come and get in on this. So Gizelle and Ashley show up. Robyn's instructions to them was to wear boots. Ashley wore fashion boots. I'm pretty sure that Robyn probably meant steel toe. Robyn, with these ladies, you have to act with specificity, okay? So when Gizelle, and they're like, "Who? This place is a dump. Oh my God, girl." But I'm like, when it's done, it's going to be fabulous. That's the whole point of buying properties. But you know my soror, honey, Gizelle, just so bad and bougie. Oh my God, what is? I wasn't even sure if I should get out the car. Ashley, the same thing. She just like, oh my God, why are we here? So that's when the three, by the way, that Marcel, who is supposed to be Robyn's mentor in real estate, is he single? Because he's cute. But he is just in awe of the ladies, the whole banter back and forth between them. But either way, this is when they decide to conspire to, oh, and before I even go there, somebody asked like why he got on a suit. I'm like, because he just here to be Robyn's helpmate. He ain't here to break down nothing. He got other people to go mentor, honey. But either way, this is when the three, the green-eyed bandits plus their sidekick Ashley, decide that they are going to go investigate and do due diligence on Karen. But we'll get into that a little bit more as I do this review. Also in this episode, we see Gizelle link up with her friend and hairstylist, whom she said she really loves him because there have been a few questionable hairstyles on this episode where she's like, he better be glad he's my friend. They meet up. By the way, that jacket that Gizelle had on and the pants, that was fabulous. But they just meet up for girl talk. Also, I've noted that folks be getting mad at the ladies for coming for Karen, but Karen kind of set herself up for that from jump. Remember, she was Miss Prim and Proper. I know all the etiquette that there is, and this is how you do this, and this is how you do that. And so she kind of just set it up that way. You know, she was talking about how perfect her life is and the pecking orders and the order of things within this group. And now the facade is starting to come undone. So Karen kind of set herself up for this ridicule. Is it necessary? Not at all. You should just be concerned about your own life and not what's going on in the life of others. But of course, remember people, this is somewhat scripted reality TV. There has to be a storyline. There has to be controversy and conflict in order to keep many people watching. Now, would you really watch if the ladies were always kumbaya? Can you pass the spread? Can you pass the peas? Oh, God, darling, I love you. You're wonderful. Would y'all really be into that? Come on now. Ashley is feeling young, sad, and blue because her man went home to greet her when she got back from Europe. The writing's on the wall, baby. Michael don't give two fucks about you. He probably out there looking for his next mate. Good day, mates. And Ashley, I don't know why you set your expectations so high with Michael. She picking up all these bags and stuff, and I said, that's a damn shame when your man don't want to come home and help you. Y'all ain't got no valet down there in those expensive ass apartments y'all live in. And then speaking of Ashley, I made a note that Karen thought she really had said something when she was trying to shade Ashley about the fact that when her and Michael separated, he moved her out of that sweat box they live in and into what did she say, a sweat box into a hot box or whatever. But I'm like, honestly, at their age, at his age, that's what downsizing looks like. You rent a 1 to 2 bedroom. Actually, a 2-bedroom makes sense for a couple. Get you a 2-bedroom apartment in a nice building in a nice area, and you live your best life. I don't understand how that was shady. And that's what Ray really wanted at the time that you all moved, wherever it is you moved to. A lot of rich people do that. You'd be surprised. They live in smaller spaces because there's no children. It's just them. What is the point of having all that house and no one's really around? It's actually very practical. Ashley, Michael is just about his money, and I am concerned, honey, as to why you didn't get you a plastic bag like from Target or Kroger or Ralph's or Albertsons or somewhere. Or even I see now they're selling in like the stores the laundry bags. Why didn't you get you a plastic bag and separate your dirty clothes from your clean clothes? You don't pack like that. Girl, I was like, ugh. And somebody was laughing, talking about not the plastic bag. That's how I pack. I always stuff extra plastic bags because that's where I put my dirty clothes. Girl, anyway, they didn't have no laundry facility. Another thing I noticed about Ashley is that she's really turning to her mother because she realizes that her husband is not really going to have her back. And I find that hilarious because Ashley has sown this story about her mother being neglectful. She has abandoned them, left them to be raised by her grandparents, or really, Sheila's parents, who is Ashley and her brother's grandparents. And so it's like, so was she really a great mom or was she not? Did you just make up those stories about your mom as a storyline? And then is this Sheila's new house or is this Airbnb they used to shoot this scene in? Did it really help when you and Michael cut her off financially and she had to stand on her own? Is that when she got some act right? Honestly, I think that Ashley is still seeking validation from a toxic mother. And one of the things, maybe when she's 40, she'll realize that right now Ashley is 30? Maybe she'll realize it, but there comes a time when you have to realize people are not going to change and you cannot change them no matter how much you do for them, no matter how good you are to them. Sometimes some people just, even if it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your auntie, blood relatives, sometimes you just have to cut them off and just keep it pooching. So I thought that was interesting. So Ashley, when she goes over to her mom's house, she takes over, I guess, what's supposed to be Mediterranean food. I don't know what that was, but that tabbouleh, when her mama said it tastes like grass, I was like, well, then that's not good tabbouleh then, girl. You got some bad tabbouleh. I think it's good to see Ashley and her mom together, but I do worry if Ashley's world will come completely unhinged if Sheila is not capable of being there for her. Because right now she can be there for Ashley because Ashley has means and money. But what happens when the money is dried up and gone? I mean, these are questions I have. Anyone else have them? What I didn't like about this scene is that Ashley took it upon herself to share with Sheila, her mother, what the things that have been going on with her and Michael. Your mother is not really a good confidant because I see some blowback coming from that. You told her that your mother asked for the positive, not the negative. The positive would have been I had a great trip and time away from Michael. But the issue is now he's backpedaling about becoming a father with me. Instead, Ashley says, well, the reason why Michael don't want to have kids with me is because of how you raised us. You weren't a good mother, and therefore I won't be a good mother. Let me tell you something. Sometimes the things that parents do to us, we can either continue to be like them, or we can take note. Is like, I don't like this shit. I'm not going to be this type of parent. I'm not going to do the things that my parents did to me, to my kids or my children. I don't know, but Ashley really shouldn't have shared that. But then Ashley, you know, she's one of those, I'm all about transparency. I want everything out on the table. Some things are left better unsaid. But I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. Michael said it on camera. It's going to come out in the reunion. And you know how Bravo is. Andy probably going to bring their mama and Michael out during the reunion. Watch. I'm willing to bet. Your mother never needed to know what Michael said, because you claim you want them to get along. So why would you do that? Why? But then Sheila started giving us some receipts about Michael. So apparently Michael's kids are financially supported by him, but they don't have a real relationship with their daddy. She was saying he don't have a relationship with his children and that my children don't curse me out. I'm like, child, that I would say that's typical white children's behavior. That used to be the case back in the day, but the more and more I watch Facebook, I see it's a millennial parent thing now, because these kids say whatever they want to. It don't matter if they black, white, Latino, whatever. They just talk to their parents any old kind of way. So either way, that's what Sheila said. And then she was saying that, I raised you kids. I no, he didn't. I raised you kids as a single mom. And I just can't believe it. And I was like, okay, Miss Piggy, that wig on. That was a better wig. I mean, Sheila called me, girl, and we're going to also work on your speech and your hair, because Ashley clearly can't help you. So, yeah, okay. But I was like, hold up, pump your brakes. Because according to Ashley, you weren't no mother of the year either, okay, or parent of the year. You abandoned them, so how you raise them as a single parent when you out gallivanting looking for a man? Who telling the truth, Ashley or you? Inquiring minds want to know. And then on top of that, Ashley's mother further shares that when she first met Michael, he was like, oh, you raised a wonderful daughter, or just simply love her. I mean, you know, I was like, well, first impressions ain't always lasting impressions. You know, as you get to know somebody, you start to see things. It's like, well, that was the representative. Now we have the principal. How lovely. So, c'est la vie. Then she was crying about, Uncle said that he just wanted me as a trophy wife. And I'm just like, you cannot tell me, Ashley, that you did not enter this marriage knowing that this man wanted you because you were a young tenderoni. What did y'all really have in common, really? I mean, your uncle is perceptive. Listen to him. And also, I don't even think your mother's a good source of advice, considering she's living with a homeless Bob and allegedly abandoned her children chasing a man and bottom dollar dreams. But okay, at the end of the day, Ashley, count your loss. Get you an attorney, a good divorce attorney. Michael lied to you prior to marriage. If you got some text messages or some emails, start pulling them. Someone came at me on Twitter and talking about, girl, bye. What can she sue him from? Marriage is a contract. Quiet as it's kept. Marriage is a contract. There were certain promises that Michael made that he has failed to uphold. That's why when people get divorced, why do you think people get alimony and spousal support and the property has to be sold and all of this has to go on? Because there were contractual obligations that were not fulfilled. Now, he misled her. Some might say fraud or misrepresentation. You pick. Either way, there's some damages she can get, I'm sure. I'm not sure what DC's law is about the splitting of marital property and false promises, but he promised you that he would have children with you, but now all of a sudden he's saying that he's not. But I honestly think if you did not, because maybe that was just for TV, but if you did not, actually, you need to go have somebody look over that second prenup that you done signed. Go from there. Now, some of my fellow bloggers were talking about Karen Huger's wig. I actually liked this unit that she was rocking this episode. It was sexy. It was fierce. It was so Karen. It really looked like Karen. I thought it looked good, but maybe I didn't know what I was looking at. Y'all know I'm the wig lady too, but there have been times when I ain't always got it right. So when we see Karen, Karen is getting ready to meet up with Matt, her assistant. Quite frankly, I think he's a production assistant for the show. But either way, they meet up. She confronts Matt about the alleged rumor of her living in a townhouse, which I'm like, what's wrong with living in a townhouse? I mean, you don't need all that house. I don't know why Cherie still got all that house. Maybe her kids moving back in with her. So she confronts him about spreading his business, and Matt's like, oh, I would never. So here's where things don't add up. It don't make dollars or cents. It just don't add up. So Matt says the only thing he ever told Ashley is that when he first met Karen, she was living in Ray's townhome. And Karen says, oh, that was about 25 years ago. But Matt said at the press conference when Bravo rolled the tape back to show receipts, he had known her for about 12 years. And he looked like he ain't no more than in his 30s. So you knew him when he was 5? I mean, Karen. The lies catch up with you. The stuff, if you can't keep your lies straight, don't keep telling them. That's what I'm saying. Karen like, Ashley is always lying on me. Karen said, if Ashley saw Jesus, she would lie on him too. I was like, not Jesus. Okay. Let's go to Candace and her sister. So Candace and her sister, they sell these bundles, which by the way, I am deeply disturbed by how many bundle sales are following me on Instagram. Like, how many of y'all is it? And where are y'all getting all this hair from? Like, ain't the market saturated? Do something else. And I'm not going to follow you back because I don't wear weave and I can't afford to keep it up anymore. It's cheaper for me to go down to the beauty supply and see Ming Lee. But if I could, I would prefer going to see a black beauty supply place myself. But that ain't always possible. Now, is it? But either way, it's just cheaper to go spend anywhere from $20 to $40 on a wig at the beauty supply place or a wig store or even online. So either way, I will say this. Candace's makeup was giving me life. It was fabulous. It was flawless. It was everything but that hair. Actually, the hair didn't look too bad. I've come to the conclusion that with Candace likes that big poof, that big pageant hair type stuff, like that Ebby Holiday type look. Big hair, don't care. That's her look. But now your sister Crystal coming here, dragging in, looking like something the dog done drug in from off the street. I was like, girl, like, if you're going to be on TV selling hair, make sure your shit is together. Because if that's the hair that if you wearing your hair that you selling, The sisters are trying to figure out how they can get their mom to take a back seat and let them drive and get the business to thrive a little bit better. Because, they feel like they can do it better than mama, even though mama allegedly has a thriving practice in the ATL. So one of the things that disturbed me about this conversation with the girls and their mother is how the mother immediately goes in about their weight. Now, Dorothy is supposed to be half psychotherapist. Y'all know I call her Gertrude. And she goes, Candace, how is your weight? And she's like, I'm still a 0. I'm like, damn, Mommy Dearest and Crystal too. I'm like, first of all, Miss Dorothy, you want to talk about your kids' weight, we need to talk about yours too, because girl, you ain't no spring chicken, and I don't see no flat belly. Maybe you need to get on flat tummy tea, because I heard in the ATL it's the place to be, it's the shit to be on. But I don't think that that's appropriate. And if you're a psychotherapist, those types of comments, if they are ongoing, I don't know, because that was just a clip. That was just one scene we've seen of her come at them about their weight. But my thing is that leads to eating disorders sometimes. So was it really appropriate to ask your daughter? Now, the other thing is, I can see why she would ask it, is because, look, heifer, I ain't buying you another damn wedding dress. I'm not paying for another bridal gown. Y'all better get this shit right and keep your weight down to the wedding. Okay, maybe that's what it was. But if it is an ongoing thing, it's inappropriate. And I wouldn't want to come to you and be my psychotherapist, because I see now that the way that you handle your children was to say you won't give me some fraudulent advice. So the girls are able to convince their mother to be a quote unquote consultant for the business. I was like, we'll see how that goes. You know, Miss Dorothy ain't hands off. So she was cool with that. Robyn has taken on the role of being the truth seeker along with Ashley, but Ashley is more of the bone carrier while Robyn is the interrogator, okay? And Gizelle is just the instigator. I mean, I don't know how else to describe these women, but I found the conversation very interesting when Robyn was like, we just want Karen to be transparent. I'm like, remember, Karen came to you before that press release about Ray's business, and you couldn't even keep your trap shut about that. So you kind of set yourself up for Karen not to ever want to be sharing anything with you. Also, keep in mind, Karen did come from humble beginnings and you were raised well. So that's a parallel right there. But like I said, then again, Karen kind of set herself up for all this intermeddling with her high society, highfalutin, I'm better than you. Better than you, huh? So Monique and Chris, this is another conversation that was had that kind of disturbed me. I feel as though Chris is selfish, which we know he's a spoiled athlete, prominent personality. But I also feel like he's not mindful of the fact that Monique had a miscarriage. So they're out in the back of their lovely, luxurious fifth home, I think is what it is, which is the family estate. And it's very nice back there. Oh my God, I would love to have a home with a nice, that's really my big thing. I just like a really nice backyard where it's bug free because I'm going to get somebody to come take care of it and lots of citronella candles. But it's really nice. They kick back, they're having wine and cigars, and she's giving him a foot rub and all is well. But then he starts talking about, so when are you gonna give me another baby? And I'm just like, Ninja, she just lost a baby. And then even she said in the confessional, I'm still getting over the miscarriage. So, and then in other respects, if I said before, and other bloggers have said before, Chris probably like, I chose you over my mama, so you need to stay home and make me some more babies. It's almost, Chris, like you're coming off as being that quote unquote old school traditional husband where I'm the provider and you take care of home. You don't have to do all this stuff that you want to do. And honestly, that's not for lazy moms concept. Maybe people will buy it because I see a lot of people on Twitter that really ride for Monique. I don't know if they would support her business, but I can't get with it. Again, Monique, if I were you, I would pursue, I don't know what DC's marijuana laws are set up like, but I would definitely think about setting up a cannabis oil business instead. But either way, Monique seems to be happy in her marriage. And honey, I can forgive you for anything if you buy me a pair of Giuseppe's and notice, baby. He came out there with her birthday gift. He made an excuse to me. I gotta go to the bathroom. And he came out with some Giuseppe's and notice. I will tell you this, Steve Madden has the exact same style, only thousands of dollars cheaper. Just saying. Karen also believes that Ashley is jealous of her life, but I don't think that's the case. I think there is an issue of projection going on. There can be no doubt that Ashley is not happy in her marriage. And I think the two of you are more alike than you think. Like, for instance, you both marry men that are way older than you. And when I look at Ashley, I see Karen 20 years. And when I look at Karen and I look at Ashley, Ashley will be Karen in 20 years. So do with that what you want. All right. So if y'all remember earlier this season, the women went and worked out together in their respective workout groups, minus Sharice. So workout group number 2, the Get in Shape girls, Candace, Karen, and Monique got together. Okay. And they met up at some sort of harvest festival, and Monique showed up in her stripper boots and all, honey. Actually, they the open knee boots. I have some too. I need to get those out of my storage. But y'all, when Monique started talking about Chris and her son being sick, I was like, here we go. I was like, oh my God, what essential oils did you prescribe now, Monique? Really? She didn't go into a litany about what she prescribed. I was like, thank God. Then here go Candace. Now she gets to talk about her supposed struggles of not getting everything she wants for the wedding. But she did say something that did show a little bit more maturity, which is Chris keeps her level, which he does. Also, she was complaining about, I'm so tired of having to go through my mother for everything. And I'm like, you wouldn't have to get clearance from your mama if you would get a little bit of independence and cut yourself from your mama's purse strings. I mean, what do you expect? You were the one who wanted her to pay for this extravagant wedding. If you want the extravagant wedding of your dreams and your mama is footing the bill, what the fuck you expect? And then on top of that, it's like this spectacular thing that you're putting on for a group of people that wouldn't spit on you if your guts were on fire. So I'm trying to figure out, maybe 1% or 2% of the people that are there will actually be there to support you, provide you the support that you need to have a successful marriage. So if I were you, I would start reconsidering cutting that list like your daddy told you to. So anyway, what your logic doesn't add up at all. So now we also find out in Candace's conversation that she plans to be financially independent after the wedding. So basically you just using your mama to get a glamorous wedding. Okay. I like Monique in this situation. She said at the end of the day, as I've said too, when the wedding is over, it's just y'all, and you need to be focusing on making the relationship work because it is work. And I understand that marriage is a lot of work. I've never been married, but I've heard the stories. I also like the fact that Monique also asked about, well, what about Chris? How are you and Chris really? Right now, it sounds like all you're talking about is the big day, and Chris is not even being discussed at all. It's like he's just an accessory for this wedding. But then again, at the top of the season, let's be real, she did share more than she needed to about Chris's body parts. Okay, and maybe she's decided to pull back on talking about Chris, but I don't know. Then she was like, well, he do be asking to spend more time. Well, then stop focusing on how your parents' marriage failed. Stop focusing about how your life is going to be like theirs. Your mom is a psychotherapist, should have put you at ease about that, but we know she hasn't because she constantly harps on the fact that allegedly your father abandoned you, when the truth of the matter is your father abandoned her. I think that you just really need to stop focusing on what it is that your parents did, what Chris has gone through already, and just focus on y'all coming together and solidifying and having a bomb-ass marriage that survives the test of time. Now, the green-eyed bandits in this pizza caper, aka Pizzagate in Great Falls. Ashley done got them disguised as that damn wig. She looked like a Teen Titan in that shit. I said, where's she going, Jesus? And then they kept talking about we could get shot going on this mission. I'm like, well, why are you going to somebody's house that may or may not be their house and they may or may not be there and you might get shot? That don't make dollars of sense. That don't add up. Then on top of that, Robyn had on these dad jeans and she looked like a dude, looked like a lady. Actually, a lady looked like a dude. With these daggone dad pants on, but the belt still had the price tag on it, y'all. I don't know if y'all peeped that, but Diva did. My thing is this. Why didn't y'all just call Karen and play like y'all were just calling to see how she doing and ask her what you doing? And if she said, oh, I'm just laying in my bed, then y'all go out there. Or I'm sitting in the salon doing what I do. I don't get it. They cut it off once they go to Karen's door and ring it. They out there in the dark of night, ain't no damn street lights. I was like, is that the county? Like, what is that? And so Robyn, Gizelle, they in their disguises out here ringing doorbells. But when they cut it off, we didn't get to see if Karen answered the door. But based upon the previews for the season finale, I don't think she did, because we see Gizelle asking her about, did you get a pizza delivery? Also, we see that Michael tells Ashley that actually I was planning on living a life without you. And I was like, oh, damn. So I'll have to see the entire conversation to see, is he saying that it's over, or is he saying that at the time that they separated, it was over? Chris and Candace bond over the fact that it appears as if one of his children's or his two younger children's mother may or may not let them be part of the wedding. I don't know, I'm curious because he was crying. So it sounds like it's a no-go. Or maybe it's the older child that he's been trying to connect with. Karen, once again, has to tell the ladies, mind your own business. Okay. And Juan dad approves of Robyn. And Robyn, of course, is giddy about that. In addition, we see that Ashley has Michael out also doing some bone collecting. He has Ray. I just want to ask where you're living. And Ray looked at him like, if you don't get the fuck out of my face, get the hell out of my face, Mike. What you mean where I live? I live where I live. I was like, okay. But either way, that's all I've got for Real Housewives of Potomac. Please forgive the congestion, because I'm still a little congested from this cold or whatever the hell this is that I ended up with. I don't know where I picked it up from. But wash your nasty hands, people. Wash your hands. Again, I've been Miss Sophia the Diva. This has been Real Housewives of Potomac's Hot Gossip Cold Pizza. If this is your first time on this channel, be sure to subscribe to this channel. And I will see you all back here next week to talk about the season finale. And then we can get on to the real deal Holyfield. And that is the reunion. Looks like it's probably only going to be 2 parts. But that's all I've got. Thank you guys for joining. Bye.